want to start and maybe give an intro on to who you are, what you do, what you focus on?
Yeah, sure. So I'm kind of a shit poster on Twitter, CT. I joined crypto around late 2020, early 2021. Uh, Pretty much immediately started trading on chain. I didn't touch any future, any perpetual. I didn't know how to trade for the good part of my first year, I would say, a year and a half. I was just, I mean, the first money I on ramp to crypto, I immediately withdraw on chain and started playing on chain. Of course, in 2021, the main plays were on Ethereum and Binance Coin. Then later, I started having more fun also with perpetual, so trading perps, and this is what I do mostly right now. Like, I still have some funds on Solana and other chains to buy some coins and hold, but most of my activity these days is trading perps.
What were you trading in 2021? Were you trading like NFTs? Like, what was your biggest win on chain in 2021?
2021, yeah, I mean, I did a little bit of NFTs with when art blocks were going crazy. I was actually one of the early minters. I minted like a Fidenza NFT, for example.
Whoa.
Uh, yeah, didn't sell it at the top. Sell it too early, looking back. But it was fun to be there at the heart of it when like OpenSea was the king and everything, even before Blur and all the other stuff. But mostly, no, mostly I was really buying coins. I was actually playing, because like SHIB and smaller coin on the BSC. There was many coins that now are even dead. I would not even mention them. Yeah. The funny thing is, many of my peers been blown up or took heavy losses in May 21, for example, when Bitcoin crashed, and they were trading perps. I wasn't trading perps, so I pretty much didn't feel anything. I was just with my little bags on chain, and I was like, oh, okay, Bitcoin is down, but I don't have any Bitcoin. I don't give a shit. And then I started trading, yes, and when it was 2022, when it was like a Luna crash, FTX crash, that was a wild year to trade. A wild year to learn how to trade, I would say.
All of your peers that you've seen blow up, like, what is the common theme in traders that lose it all in crypto after being really successful?
Well, I would say the recurring theme is that there is two levels of being wrong on a trade, and there is a certain amount of money where you think you are just losing money, but you're not ready to admit that you've been wrong on the idea of the trade. And then there is a certain level, a second level, which is much lower for many people, where the amount of money become lost. The red P&L becomes so high that it becomes higher than the shame of saying I've been wrong on this trade, and then that's when people cut their losses, but they cut their losses too late. So there's a certain level where you're still in time to take a little loss and just lose a little money, but you have to admit that you were wrong. Most people lose a lot of money because they don't want to admit they were wrong, so they wait until the point of higher pain, when it's unavoidable to take the loss.
Have you seen people with 8 figures plus blow up in one trade?
No, not personally. Not personally. I saw, of course, on Twitter some people, like even recently, just James Wynn and people like Aguila Trades. They're like blowing millions like this. I also Machi, for example, was blowing millions on NFTs. I never understood that place, but I mean, It's like this. I was like a spectator, like you and the others. I would just saw them through Twitter.
What the fuck is the Agulia trades thing, man? I asked Maine about that the other day too. I mean, what the fuck is going on there? It's just like every day I feel like I see a post down, minus 40 mil on Hyperliquid. It's like insane.
Yeah, about that, I think the thing about Hyperliquid is that once a person wallet is known, everything is transparent. So
Yeah.
you can see the position, the entry, the P&L, the funding, and the liquidation level. When couple years ago, when you saw people having position on Bybit or Binance or even FTX, you could say, okay, this guy, if you believe them and they were transparent and they post on Twitter and they say, okay, I'm short, I don't know, $2 million Ethereum at this level. But people follow them, but they couldn't see live. You didn't have the same pressure of people drawing a target on yourself
Yeah.
because they say, oh, okay, this guy's fucked in another $300 move, and everyone is watching that level because they know that these whales have this huge position. I mean, people like Win, James Win, he was leveraged 40x. I mean, that's a target on your back. I don't believe in the conspiracy that market maker hunts stops, but it's just mathematics. Like if you don't leave yourself the leeway for your position to run, you're gonna get fucked unavoidably. It's just pure mathematics.
Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to ask you is do you think these huge traders with 8 figures plus open on Hyperliquid or on exchanges are being hunted by market makers?
No, I don't believe no. I do think that um, some big traders fail to adapt to conditions of lower liquidity. There is some weeks, there is some months where the market is ready to absorb large positions. You can get out of a $5 million position like nothing, and sometimes the market is just the order books are so thin that the market makers simply do their job. If there is less liquidity, if there is more volatility, they they simply provide less liquidity. It's really their job. They sometimes it's even automated. They don't even need to do anything. So, of course, if you have a large position, you get slipped to hell if you need to close in a hurry, or if stop a liquidation cascade means that your position, which was like kind of safe-ish on a high leverage, it becomes hunted. It looks hunted, but there's no
Yeah.
malicious, in my opinion, hunting of them.
The market makers simply do their job is so aura. It's like such a I don't know why that was like such I don't know, it sounds so cool. I love that. Tell me what so okay, what did you do before crypto? Cuz I would have guessed that you were trading crypto like 2017, 2015, 2013. Like were you a trader before you came into on-chain stuff in 2021?
No, the funny thing is I had a completely different job, and the reason I actually joined crypto was, uh, if you want to say, it was kind of arrogance. So some of my colleagues and my manager at the company I was working for, they started playing with crypto, and to me they were complete idiots. Like they were like buying Cardano, buying Dash, Polkadot, these coins, and saying, oh, imagine if it does a 100x, imagine if it does 1000x. And because they were looking at Bitcoin, they were looking at Ethereum,
Yeah.
and they were saying, oh yeah, imagine if Cardano goes to $2000. Of course it was insane. And I look at them and I was like, I can do better to them. Like, these guys they were like, maybe doing a couple thousand in 6 months and saying, oh, I got a free vacation because of this little crypto I have. And I was like, fuck you, I can do much better. So I didn't tell any of them that I was joining them, but I just took some savings and started playing with them.
That's a fun.
And the rest is history, as you say. Like it went well enough that I was able also to quit my job and do it as a career full time, which I enjoy.
And so you sort of came in as a on-chain trader, NFTs, mint dividends, all of that, buying on-chain coins, and then now you're, at least to what you said, to my knowledge, basically a full-time perps trader. Like, at what point should the best on-chain traders, especially now you could relate it to the meme coin stuff, transition to trading perps?
So I don't think it's for everyone, and I think actually I've been playing both. I still play both, but I should say the lessons that you take from playing on chain and from playing perps are very different, and it's not for everyone to adapt. For example, uh, I now have so much of a trader mentality that I'm not able to hold meme coins for very large payoffs. Last year, 23, 24, I was very early to a lot of coins. I was early to WIF, even earlier than Ansem. I was early to PopCat, about under $1 million
Wait, what price did you
market
buy with
cap.
at earlier than Ansem?
WIF, I was like, it was, I think, 4 millions. It was 4 million market. It was December 23. I don't
Yeah.
remember the exact date, but so yeah. But I mean, I traded them. I did good money, but I didn't hold them until 4 billion market cap because I now I have this kind of mentality of taking profits, selling partials. This thing did a 3x, I sell maybe a third, and so on and so on. The people like people like Block Graze or people who retire on a single coin. You need a little bit of insanity. You need a bit of like I don't touch this coin for 1 year, and maybe I retire from it. In perps is the different thing. It's different thing. People need to be you're in and out, you take your profits, you're out, you look for a new trade. You don't think oh, I'm in this position, so let's see where I am in 6 months. You cannot do that. Also in meme coins it's very easy to have your risk defined and your invalidation, because you can say, oh, I put $1,000 on this coin and my invalidation is 0. Like, this bag can go to 0,
Yeah.
and the worst can happen, I lost $1,000 on this stupid coin. Maybe it's some stupid zoo animal, maybe it's some AI coin, whatever. In perps you need to do all the work. You need to know how much you put, where you're wrong, how much you lose, how much you win. What if the position goes down, but then you're break even? Do you close? Do you try to go from to your original target? There's a lot of different considerations. Meme coins are a whole different game, so I don't think it's for everyone to adapt. But I would say if you made a decent stock, it doesn't hurt to take a side, like make a small like sub account. You deposit 10,000 and say, okay, this is like, it's like walking into a casino and you say, I have these chips. When these chips are gone, I'm out. Just to see if it is for you,
The
because you can take some good lessons about risk management, about psychology of having I don't know, having a large position open, and it changes you. It changes you. What you discover things about yourself when you manage large positions. I should say this. I have a long on a hyperliquid going. It's a bit underwater. It was around 45, but mainly I think what people were afraid of in July, and then they were afraid of in early August. I think we arrived at the moment where is this downside, this kind of the end of this rally. Maybe we reach it. I don't believe the cycle is done. I still believe that in Q4, I think late September until maybe Christmas should provide good opportunity. But I do believe that the meat of this rally is done. I think that the weekly close on Bitcoin was not nice, but I mean, people were expecting, I myself was expecting not to make any money in July and August. And in fact, the market's been very generous. So I know that City flip flop every 24 hours, but I
Yeah.
think we had very good 6 weeks, and it's okay if now the market takes a breathing until Q4.
You know, I'm I'm definitely not as technical as you with the markets, and I'm not really trading perps. I'm mostly spot BTC and on chain. But I've found myself over the last 3 months becoming just a complete brain off bulltard. And you see a lot of signals, especially in macro, that could lead you to becoming a bulltard. And you see what is happening with strategy and these DATs, and you see Tom Lee, and you see Bitcoin, crypto, and 401ks. You basically see every possible bull signal you could ever want happening. But then you look up and Bitcoin's only at 117K, which is awesome. And I'm up and I feel good. But it's nowhere near some of these targets that people were throwing around in the earth. 400K, I think 400, 600K, 400K. And I know people just say things on Twitter. But what would it
Yeah.
actually take from a capital perspective, from a euphoria perspective? What would it actually take for Bitcoin to break 250K, 300K, 400K?
But just quickly, I believe it will not happen this cycle. First of all, I think we are if there is still upside for Bitcoin, it will be capped around 150, 160. I think this cycle. I don't believe that we go much higher. But again, I'm not in the business of predicting the future. I will play as it is. But I think that the level of inflows from the ETFs, from Sailor and all the copycats are reaching a kind of saturation. I mean, they will not stop buying because all these, hedge funds and pension funds and such, they will keep buying Bitcoins. But the, how to say, the amount of inflows per day, I don't think it's going to be 10x in the next 3 months. So one other thing, just to reply to what you said about the bullish news about all this institutional capital, I believe that first for Bitcoin, now for Ethereum, and probably for a few select ones like Solana, maybe Ripple, I think there is a very wide chasm forming, a very large separation between the kind of institutional crypto which is being adopted and injected into mainstream finance, and the rest of crypto, which is our little casino, our speculation, our DeFi, our NFTs. I believe there is going to be a larger and larger separation between coins who are going to be, uh, kind of associated with the Nasdaq, with the SPX and such, and coins which are pure, casino on-chain rotation, PvP, different metas. Like last year we had AI, we had other things. I think there will be almost two different arenas, and I believe the hot ball of money which was coming every cycle to play on chain is not necessarily coming back on chain. Like the people who do Uber Eats delivery. Yes, maybe they see TikToks and they want to buy the new WIF, for example.
Yeah.
But some of them will just start staking, like 20% of their salary or their saving into iBit or into
Yes.
Bitcoin, and just say, oh, in 10 years it will be 500K. So why I should risk, everything on kind of the casino? So I don't think that when people say retail is coming, retail is coming, retail is coming, I think a lot of retail attention will be captured by packages which maybe will be offered by TechFi or their own banks, or Robinhood and such. They will just package for them exposure to crypto, which doesn't mean that they will have a phantom wallet where they speculate on the coins with us.
Okay. Then this is one of the last things I want to talk to you about. I'm going to give a take and I want to hear your perspective or your take back. First of all, I agree. Everyone's talking about onboarding and retail. It's like retail is already here. They're just buying crypto exposure on Robinhood. They're buying it. They're getting it in the 401ks. That's happening, right? I mean, crypto and equities have been the hottest vertical for the last 3 months. I watched this video from it was Clemente made this video, and he basically was saying that on chain 2024 was a warm up. It hasn't really happened yet. Like we're gonna get real PVE season on chain. And my perspective on this is that look, feel how you want about AI season in November of 2024, but Solana AI coins basically went from zero to $15 billion in market cap in like 3 months. And the climax of this whole thing was the president of the United States tweeted a CA that went to
Yeah.
$75 billion in 24 hours. And I think to think that that could be repeated, let alone topped, is crazy. To think that on chain gets hotter than it is right now, sure, sure. I think there's a lot of capital that could trickle down to on chain. Maybe you're right and it just stays institutional, separate from crypto. You might be right about that. But in my opinion, to think that it would get crazier than it was in the fall of 24 is like a wild. There's nothing to say that would ever happen again. Just like there's nothing to say that we would ever get NFTs hotter than they were in 2021. And so my like one of the last takes I want to get from you is, do you think on chain, on Solar Anywhere can ever go back to what it was pre-Trump or around Trump 2024 fall through January?
Well, I believe that, of course, the human nature will not change, so people will always want to gamble. I just believe that markets with time get more and more efficient. When I was gambling in 2021 on Ethereum coins, we didn't have all these tools like the screener. We didn't have all this, like I don't know, Photon. We didn't know what was a bundle of, wallets and such. People were not able to read the explorers very well. Nowadays, if a coin launches, in 30 seconds, you can check on Telegram if the coin is bundled, if wallets, if there have been insiders, everything you want. You can check if it's been launched with Pump Fund. So you maybe trust the contract. You want to see. I don't know. You have a really dashboards and millions of tools and players who have bots to ape every launch. So everything is more sophisticated. So the easy money, how to say, where everyone's playing blind, it's not like this. There is players who are now sophisticated and they're ready to capture the difference, to capture most of the value in the first 5 minutes of life of a coin.
Yeah.
So that's why, for example, recently, even if Solana went back over $200, we didn't have these runners that went to 100 million, where we had one every day pretty much last year.
Yeah.
Now, how come you don't have even one a week? No, like okay, you had some coins like Useless, for example, but it took a tremendous amount of effort, for example, from Bonk Guy to promote it and others. So I don't know. I see even Farcoin struggling. It's not an attack on Farcoin, and I think that if Cycle is not done, Farcoin can have another leg. But just to say, like there is not enough money and attention to pump everything. So you really need another situation like post-COVID, where people were really receiving these stimmies and they were just gambling them on chain because it was like kind of free money. I don't see this happening with the same magnitude, but I don't believe on chain is down. I don't believe so. When I was saying what I was saying before is that they will be kind of two silos, which maybe don't.
Yeah.
The money doesn't flow from each other. Like people will maybe see Ethereum at 10,000 in 2-3 years.
Yes.
But the Ethereum on-chain activity maybe will not reflect that. It will just be a reflection of the 401k injecting money into Ethereum and pumping the chart alone. It doesn't mean that the Ethereum L2, for example, will do millions of transactions of millions of coins every week.
This is why I like you, because you're a real ball knower with the on-chain stuff. A lot of the bigger, older perps guys have like no idea what's happening. You're a real ball knower on the on-chain stuff. This was sick, Hart. I appreciate that you came on. Hey, last question. What's up with the hentai stuff? Are you just like mad horny all the time? Like what's up with the hentai posting?
No, it's kind of no. I'm actually into anime and manga in general, like the theme stuff. The entire stuff is just for fun because I know that some ThreadFi people follow me, and I like to shake them off. You know, like I want to provoke them to the point where they wonder if they should keep following me or not. I want to like mix the alpha with the uncomfortableness of maybe you scroll and see a pair of huge titties on your timeline.
Yeah, well, it's working.
It just cracks me up. It just I
It
will not stop it, and it's just fun for me. I don't even like consume it for myself. It's just I just go there and say, oh, today I post a picture, and it's just a game.
it works. Hart, you're a Chad, bro. I appreciate. Yeah, it's a good cover up. I appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you for the time. Is there anything? Sorry, I started a little bit late. Is there anything you wanted to say that I didn't ask you, or anything you sort of want to sign off with?
Well, no, thank you for the invite.
Of course.
It's been a pleasure for me too. And I mean, just want to say that I watched a couple of your last streams, and I like this quick rotation you have of the guests. So it's good to see some people who maybe you read every day on CT and hear their takes live like this. I believe that kind of you're building a platform where. I should say that you are filling a void that maybe we had before with App Only, but App Only was also, like not very often and not so many guests. So I believe you are like providing a platform which was kind of needed. I feel that it's actually, I spend a lot of hours on Twitter, and when you read tweets and then you scroll, and then 3 days later they're gone. But the videos, you can just go there and say, oh, what the fuck, what Main said, for example, Trader Main, what did he say 3 days ago? What did Delta say a week ago? Where was the chart and such? And you kind of catch up these little moments. It's good.
Thank you.
So
I appreciate that. I know. Look, I know we haven't always had like a ton of interactions, or not the best interactions, but I'm a fan of you. I think you post, other than the hentai, you post quality, important stuff, and I'm appreciative that you were like down to come on and chop it up, and that you've watched some of it. So honestly, I'm grateful. Yeah, thank you.
okay, thank you. I'll make space for the next guest.
Cool, brother. Have a good one, Heart. Much love, dude.